2, 1, and we're live. Hi, everyone. I am
Hello.
back with Michael, and we are going over the final lists for the Danish Nationals this year. And you are actually attending, Michael. Your list was reviewed yesterday.
Yeah.
Um, and you haven't seen it yet at this
Nope.
point where we're recording, so he doesn't actually know what was being said about his list. But you've also looked over the lists, and since you're going, you can give us your opinion. What do you think about the lists this year? Was there anything that surprised you?
Don't ask me that. I don't remember. Uh, I was very surprised to see how few British lists there was.
Yes.
That is not normal for any tournaments. But I guess the Danes don't like playing auto win lists. They
No,
wanna have
no,
a
they
challenge.
want have to have a real challenge. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's why we
Exactly.
have 7 people playing black shirts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Which is
that's
it's well I did expect there to be
yeah,
a lot of Italian lists, especially after people saw I played them at the WTC. I've had
yeah,
quite a few ask me about it and and how they worked and so forth. So yeah, I
yeah,
expected there to be a lot, uh,
yeah.
but more cavalry than I expected. I think they will find out. Maybe I'm wrong, but I doubt it. I think they'll find out that it was a waste of points. I don't
Yeah,
think they'll get
that
much out of it.
cavalry is too finicky and difficult to use, and
I I
yeah,
I I, I think the only real cavalry in this game is the Polish with the double hits.
mm,
I don't think
right,
being able to charge twice is gonna help you in the long run. I think it's gonna be very hard, at least against mid to good players, to
mm,
get the two charges in, and then you spend a lot of points on nothing.
yeah,
So, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to seeing
we
how people
will,
play them.
we will. But before we do that, I'll just share my screen here, and we can go. Can you see me sharing my screen now?
I can.
Right.
But
So
since I'm on
we,
my phone, I'll be reading it on my computer
yeah,
because I
yeah,
can't
that's
see that stuff.
perfectly fine. So we will start today with Pim, and he has already won the competition for coolest list just based on the initial image here, make barbecue great again,
Mm.
which is just, I mean, that's a +10 right there, right? So he definitely wins the coolness competition.
Yeah,
He
too bad.
is
It should say, but will never happen.
that will never happen, right? And he's also marked for us just all the places where he has a little barbecue marker. Notice those. So it's all set up like a restaurant menu here. You can see where it all flames up. 16 order dice, Soviets 1,200 points. He's bringing junior lieutenant inexperienced, 2 7-man scout squads, which have forward deployment, 7-man scout squads, veterans. 7 tank riders with SMGs, 7-man engineers with rifles, flamer, and a single Panzerfaust, 5-man engineers with flamer and Panzerfausts, free rifle squad, medium mortar inexperienced, dog mine, 3-man team inexperienced, a flamethrower team, that's the third flamethrower, a forward deploying AT rifles, that's the new forward deploying AT rifles from Case Blue, veteran, which is quite nice because you deploy it up and you get to re-roll and yeah. Medium howitzer with a forward deployment spotter, a BA-20 with a recce and flamer, so that is number 4, and an OT-34 gas jeep and a truck. Now, Michael, I know you're an OT fanboy. What do you think of this list?
I think Pim with 1,200 points. I think he made too many bad choices.
Okay, what is
And
what is
I
what could
will
be
I
better?
will I will start with his 7-man scout teams,
Mm-hmm.
which has rifles. So you're
Mm,
gonna set 7-man up for deployment. If you're gonna use that, you are basically sacrificing them. At least if you had the SMGs, if you face, now you won't do that here, but whether you face the black shirts or you face a Gurkha or you face Polish cavalry, they're gonna get creamed because they don't have tough fighter or anything. I think forward deployment need to be able to protect themselves in close combat, and I don't think rifle does it. That's why I always put SMGs on mine. Now, if he had them with SMGs, nobody would charge him
Nope.
outside of 6 because you would get 14 shots. That just hurts too bad. Tank riders, and he gave them SMGs. Well, what you do is you put anything on ambush. As soon as a vehicle drives in, you shoot at it. Even with a pistol, they have to jump off. Now you have people in the back. I would rather
With
have them have
SMGs.
rifles and then give the scouts the SMGs. Just my opinion. I do love the engineers. I'm missing the Bren carriers. I think you should have Bren carriers to carry them forward with.
I think that's, for me, that's one of the problems here, is he's going to have both his engineers in the same truck.
Yeah, and if that
which
truck
is
gets
pretty
hit,
likely to get shot at, isn't it?
Yeah, it stops both of them, and he's going to get hurt badly.
Yeah.
So that's another one. I love the medium mortar. I don't like the dog mines 3-man when they're in X. They're simply too easy to kill. If you want 3-man, I think you need to spend the point on veteran, because then they have survivability.
I think there's a point to it. I think he's going to throw them into the gas jeep.
Oh, I know, but
then
still,
outflank.
if the gas jeep gets killed, they all 3 die. Veterans has a chance to survive. I like the small team on the dog teams. The dog teams ain't meant to be shot. Basically, they're meant to push the other guy's tank around. I mean, you should only use dog teams if it's at the point where, okay, now it would be a good kill. Other than that, it's great board control. I mean, and honestly, I would not put a dog team in a gas jeep. I would put a flamer team in a gas jeep.
Yeah, I think the flamethrower is going in with the engineers.
Probably, and that's just even worse, because now that one
it's a
truck
lot of
is
stuff
gonna,
in that one
it's
truck.
never gonna get able to move forward. Nobody's gonna allow it to, because it's just too dangerous of a truck. So I do love the OT-34. It's one of my favorite tanks.
Yeah, that is a terrifying prospect to face, because it can wipe out 2 units a turn if it's used correctly, and
it can. The biggest problem with the OT is if it runs out of fuel, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
So I don't like the spotter on the howitzer. If I was going to take a spotter, I would take it on the mortar, just because the howitzer can shoot directly, and I just prefer it to cover a line rather than shoot indirect.
Okay.
Because
I can see that.
A medium howitzer can keep away any vehicle that in that line, and that gives you again a lot of board control. So I mean, for a Russian list, I mean, I do like that he's went all out on barbecue. I do like the idea of it. I just think there's a few things that I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying I would have done it differently, like with the SMGs, with the spotter, the BA, one of the best armored vehicles in the game, if you ask me.
Oh, it sucks. It's a crappy vehicle. Don't ever take it at home. It doesn't work. You run out every single time. And you do too, Michael.
It's still the best one against your Gurkhas. They don't like it.
True. That is terrifying to face as a Gurkha player. I
if
hate
you don't
facing
roll, if you don't roll ones on your flamer vehicles, use the BA-20. It's one of the best armored vehicles. Yeah.
The only thing that I don't dislike this list at all. You basically sold me on the winning the forward deployment game. He's got 4 forward deployers here, so he's pretty likely to win the forward deployment game. But I think he needs to split up his flamethrowers into different vehicles so that he can go.
Well, if you want to win the forward deployment game, you gotta have a reason to win it. He doesn't.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I don't fear any of his guys with my sniper. I don't fear any of his guys with my forward artillery observer. So if he had a sniper or a forward artillery observer, he has a reason to win it. But I mean, when I play my forward deployment, I mean, my scouts don't care if they are first or second or third.
Right.
It's the guys who doesn't need to get attacked that you need to win the forward deployment for, and he doesn't
Yeah,
have anything that needs to win.
that is right. Then we have Simon. Simon has a Soviet reinforced platoon. He calls it Ura. And it's 18 order dice, 1200 points, junior lieutenant inexperienced, assault engineers with body armor, flamethrowers, submachine guns, and a Panzerfaust. And another engineer unit with body armor, flamethrower, Panzerfaust. Guards, 2 8-man squads here with Panzerfaust. A scout squad, 5-man submachine guns, just like you like to build yours. Free rifle squad, medium mortar team, inexperienced, sniper team, regular, dog mines, one of those, regular, 2 anti-tank hunter teams with Panzerfaust. A lot of people like these forward deploying units here. An M30 MRLRS multiple rocket launcher system, a BA-20, the T-28 with a howitzer, double brain carriers, and a gas jeep. That's it. Nice little tight list, this.
Well, see, this is a Russian list I can get behind.
Hmm?
He has the brain carriers for the engineers, which
Yep.
means you can't just kill them with regular shots. You do need to penetrate. You can get pins, but that's it. So you get your body armor forward.
Yep.
Nobody really want to charge body armored engineers because you need to roll a 6 to hurt them. Now, if you can stop the brain carriers, yeah, they're screwed. They're out of the game.
Yep.
I do like when you have this many points. I do want to see the tank hunting teams with 4 guys in them because that just makes it another squad, which is one of the Russians' big advantages.
I think
Is
he's
they
going
can,
here for a small team instead, which does
oh,
give a little bit of extra protection, but
yeah, well, I mean, I personally like the 4 also because one of the things is that you get the tough tank fighter. It's not really going to help you when you only have 2. Now with 4, you roll 8 dice. That hurts,
yeah,
but 4
that
dice
hurts.
against an armor 9. I mean, chances are you're not going to do anything.
No.
So basically, you paid a lot of points to get guys with a Panzerfaust. Yeah, I don't like the M30. I think it's a waste of point, the whole thing, and you have to rally it, which means after you shoot it, no matter what happens, you can't just do an auto test. You have to rally before it can shoot again. So it's only every other turn.
And it's
If you
inexperienced. He's
fail,
going to have to stick it out because he can't use a spotter for this.
yeah, I just don't. And if you gotta take it, make sure you take it regular with a spotter, so at least you can hide it behind something. Because one pin and it's screwed. Now it has 4 after it shoots. So it's gonna be tougher and tougher. Yeah, I faced them at the WTC. I don't think they're a great weapon. Other than that, I really like his list. I think he's, except for the guards, I think he's hitting on everything great about the Russians.
I
Personally, I
think
would
the guards
rather.
are actually maybe okay because they have access to the Panzerfausts, and he's not bringing them in massive sizes. I think maybe he could get away with cutting out 1 man in each unit here, spend on
Yeah,
something else. But yeah,
I would rather have had, but that's just me personally, 3 scout squads that can support each other. They cost 85 points too, because if you forward
yep,
deploy
yep,
1 scout and 2 tank hunters, all in all 9 men,
yep,
they're cannon fodder. They're gonna get
mm,
creamed. I mean, they're just gonna get killed.
yeah, yeah.
So
So that was Simon, and then we have Simon J. So the other Simon, who is bringing Japanese, 18 order dice, 11.99. So he calls this the peace in Roskilde, which is a reference because he is Swedish. So this is a reference to the Danish-Swedish wars in the 16th century, which I'm a historian. I know this shit. And the Swedes won, of course. So yeah, it's a great big fuck you. But we'll take it. We love our Swedish cousins here. Second Lieutenant Regular.
yeah,
Then
they can't take him
Manchukuo.
inexperienced.
Nope. But he's giving him a horse because two models in the HQ section are mounted. So both the Kempertai and the officer are on horseback. 10 cavalrymen, regular Manchukuo cavalry, militia, full strength, 15-man green, Kempertai, forward artillery observer, engineers, 5 men with a with rifles and a flamethrower, double bamboo spears, full strength, heavy mortar team, inexperienced, flamethrower team, regular, so 2 flamethrowers, double suicider, inexperienced, both of them, a heavy howitzer with extra loader and spotter. Wow, that is expensive, but man, is it difficult to kill. Horse-drawn
What does
limber,
the extra loader do?
just extra men for the howitzer, so it stays longer. Very cheap. The
Oh, so
Hogoku
it's a
Go,
6-man instead of 5.
yeah. So the Hogoku Go is the armored car with an MMG and an LMG. The Horo assault gun, we know that one. Another heavy howitzer. A Kuragani and a light truck. Double heavy howitzers. And a heavy mortar. Wow, that is a lot of firepower in the HE section here.
It is.
What do we think?
I mean, I'm looking very much forward to seeing what his plan is, because he has the howitzers and the mortar who wants to shoot at a distance, but
Yep.
all his guys wants to go into close combat.
I can tell you what his plan is. He's going to emulate Manuel at the WTC. He's going to sit back, have his infantry in front, and then he'll fire indirectly at you. Once you start losing units and you feel like you have to press up, I think he's going to rush you and crush you.
Well, I
So,
mean, with all the black shirts, the Japanese ain't
well,
gonna
for you,
crush
maybe,
anybody.
yeah, it'll be a different thing for you, but I think that's his game plan against most armies here.
It might be. I
Yep.
mean, I think he's gonna have a hard time against British, which there's not many of, against black shirts, and against cavalry.
Mm.
Because
So all
once
the
you,
assault armies you think are actually better than this army here.
I do,
Yeah.
and I do because I've faced the Japanese twice with only 9 black shirts,
Mm.
and I won one and I lost one, but every fight I was in, I whooped them badly.
Yeah.
And not once did they take out my 9-man veteran fanatic black shirts. And I
Yeah.
killed one game, I think I killed 3 bamboo spearmen, 2 in the other, even though they were full strength. I mean, they just get whooped.
Yeah.
I have a hard time seeing him assault other assault armies. That's become the
Yeah.
problem with the Japanese, if you
It
ask me.
is. Yes, I
That
agree.
now you have the English who are better,
Mm.
and you have the Italians who are better. Now,
Yeah.
I do like his idea with the heavy howitzers, because
Mm.
if he had done, for example, the squads with the mortar teams in him, so everything had been at a distance,
Mm.
you would have had a hell of a time getting to him, because you don't want to run in front of those 2 howitzers
Or just
crossing the
he
lines.
he could have just gone militia for the bamboo spears
Yeah,
instead.
yeah.
So rifles would have actually benefited him a little bit more, I
That
think,
would,
as well.
yes, that too. Anything at a distance, so he could just
Mm.
stand there and pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
Use the howitzers to protect his guys by putting them so they do a line. So
Mm.
anything that crosses that line is gonna get screwed.
Yeah.
So
Right. Interesting one from Simon here.
it is.
For
I mean,
me, I really feel like this is a good Japanese attempt.
I do
Um,
too. I think if he gets it to play right for him,
mm,
I think he can do well, actually. Because
right.
if those howitzers starts getting direct shots,
Oh
anything
yeah.
dies. I mean,
Anything, yeah. Heavy
yeah,
howitzer that will kill
yeah.
most
You
things.
you don't want to get in front of them, and he has
No.
2 of them.
Yeah. Then we have Stefan, which is he's also a Swedish player coming over for the Danish Nationals. 18 order dice, 1198. So it is a Soviet platoon here. Junior lieutenant, assault engineers with body armor, assault engineers with body armor, single Faust, and a couple of submachine guns in each of these units here. Tank riders, submachine guns, 8-man unit, regular. Storm Group, they are the ones who can charge through terrain and not fight simultaneously.
Oh, they're great.
They are great. 7-man unit. Scouts, and here you have the submachine guns, 4 of those, 1 rifle just to have a little bit of range, I think. The free rifle squad, medium mortar, inexperienced sniper team, dog mines, 2 of those, inexperienced, both of them. Light howitzer, horse-drawn limber for the howitzer, gas jeep with a pintle-mounted MMG, T-34, wow, okay, with a medium anti-tank gun, double brain carriers, and a truck.
I like the engineers, brain
Mm,
carriers with assault engineers in it. It's a
hmm
great combo. We'll never understand the tank squad, tank riders.
No,
The way they've been made in this game, they're just not worth the points. Like the Storm Group, if you can get it
but
up
they
to
they
do.
are an 8-man regular unit with submachine guns. If he can get them up, then they could be really dangerous.
Well, I mean, I know, but you do spend 104 points on
Mm,
8 guys. I mean,
yeah, you do. Yeah.
I think you can get 7 scouts for that with submachine guns close to. And I mean,
Mm,
I just think it's better because you pay for tank rider, and if anybody you face who shoots at the tank right as it comes in, even with your officer with a pistol,
yeah.
just the fact that you to declare a shot but you can't reach, but you shot at the tank, so they have to dismount. It's dumb, but that's the rules.
Yeah. True.
So I mean, at least if you hit the tank, that would make sense. Even with a
Mm,
gunshot, you can't hurt the tank, but you can get him to dismount. But just the fact that you shoot in the direction of it is enough,
mm,
which is dumb.
yeah.
It's a rule that hasn't been thought through, if you ask me. But they are the rules, and that's why tank riders just don't work.
Yeah. True.
Like the Storm Guard, veteran 7 man
Mm.
who always hits first when
Yeah.
they initiate, yeah, starts the battle.
Initiate combat. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just amazing.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it is that you don't want to get close to them.
Gotta ask you about the howitzer though. A light howitzer for 40 points. Is this just an extra mortar for his list here?
Maybe I would guess so. I don't. I first of all, I would never understand why you would take a light howitzer inexperienced because you get the -1 for shooting directly.
Yeah.
So
That's what I mean. So is it just a like? Is he going to use it like an extra medium mortar, basically?
I'm guessing so, but I mean, as soon as you're within 24, he can't shoot anymore. So howitzers are hard to use for a long time at
Yeah.
indirect.
Yeah.
I mean, I
And then
think
there's
that,
the T-34 medium tank with a medium
yeah, I don't
anti-tank
get that
gun.
either.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a lot of anti-tank power, which is not very good at infantry.
no, it's for 200 points.
Mm,
I mean, I would have put in a Stewart instead at any day. I mean, I would never pick this tank. I don't,
mm,
but I don't like the one-shot tanks. I mean, I know it does have 5 MMGs, or you
mm,
can shoot 10, but I would settle for the +4 on a Stewart and have 18 shots at men
mm, mm,
anytime. I mean,
yeah,
or go with the Flamer. OT-34 finds the points for that.
yeah,
So
yeah. That's for me. That's the only thing I definitely would want to change. That's the
yeah,
T-34. But again, we are not that massively familiar. Although we have been to Swedish tournaments, we're not massively familiar with what they're thinking in Sweden right now. So he might have a plan.
he might.
And then we have CERN. CERN made a bit of a splash at our last tournament because he was not a well-known tournament player, and he came and he almost got the podium places. Fought in the finals against Danny from the Dutch WTC team and did rather well. And I think you also played against him, didn't you?
Oh, I did. I lost to him.
Yeah.
Mm.
So quite a splash. He's bringing his finish for this one. 15 order dice, 1200. Regular lieutenant, double CC recon here, 9-man units, which I don't agree with. Um, and then he has continuation war, 5-man unit. Don't agree with that either. Jakaris, which is an 8-man unit with submachine guns, double Panzerfausts. Which, okay, yeah. Caucapachos, 8-man Caucapachos. Wow, they are expensive. 192 points for
That's
8
cheap. I paid
veterans.
288 for my squad.
Yeah, but you have what, 14, 15, 16, something absurd
18.
amount of 18, 18 veterans. He has 8. Um, the Caucapachos, I think this is too large of a unit for what it is you want to do, and
I
consequently
think
too
it's a
expensive.
matter of being able to use your points.
Maybe.
But
Flamethrower team.
imagine that you have a unit
Mm,
with 8 men who is allowed to outflank into your
mm.
enemy's back line. All his artillery and
Yeah, they're dead.
howitzers,
Yeah, they're dead. They're
they're
super dead.
screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, if I face it, I hope I face it in a non-outflanking mission.
Oh yeah. He's bringing a flamethrower team as well, a sniper team regular, which is a little bit of a surprise. I often see snipers for Finns being brought veteran. A heavy mortar team with a spotter regular, AA gun, heavy automatic cannon regular,
Oh, that's
BA-10,
nice.
a tankette with double MGs, which is not unreliable, a mule team, and a truck and a Komsomolette. That's the list.
I mean, I think he did a good attempt. I don't think the Finnish are very compatible. I can't tell you if 8 men is too many. I just think the Carpaccio get 8 men veterans into your
Mm.
backside will hurt.
Yeah, it will.
And I think it's gonna be very, very hard to stop it
Mm.
because you can't
Especially if you have
protect.
an army where you have units sitting in your back lines, right?
Well, I mean,
Uh,
I guess what basically what you're gonna have to do is cheese it a little bit, and then put your artillery up, and then take a squad or two and pull along the line, so he has to get in next to it, so he can't get directly to your artillery. I don't see any other way to stop it.
I don't think you can stop it. Even if you put up units behind your artillery or along the
No, but
sides. I mean,
you can snake it so you decide where he comes in, like they
true.
did to me at the WTC, and I think they
Mm.
did it to Michael too, where they blocked an outflanking line.
Yeah, yeah.
I hate when people do it, but I'm see more and more do it,
It's
so I'm
it's
guessing
valid. Yeah.
that you should do it, because why give yourself
Mm.
the disadvantage? And if you
But
do, like with my 18 squad, I decide where he comes in.
mm. I kind of
And
like that he has 4 Panzerfausts in this, because one of the things that Finns often lack is anti-tank capability, and he
yeah,
has 4 Panzerfaust and a flamethrower that he can put in his Contomolette or
I
in his
mean,
truck, and
I
yeah.
think he has a good mixed bag of tough fighters and everything. He go the sissy squad, Raycon
Mhm.
squad, which goes on. If you just do an advance, they go on ambush, and if you
Yep.
charge them, they're tough fighters. They're
Yep.
veterans. I think it's a good buy when you have 1,200 points.
I think so too.
So
Yeah.
I think if Son plays it right, I think he'll do well again, even
Oh,
with the finish.
even with the finish, because
Yeah,
he definitely knows his stuff. And
yeah.
then we have Thomas Wurdemann of the German WTC team. Now,
Oh, what a
Thomas.
horrible list! I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, yes.
Sorry,
16
Thomas.
organized, 1,200 points, Japanese. Thomas has been posting pictures of this army online. Looks good, Thomas. Looks good. Second lieutenant with 2 extra men, regular. Manchukuo Cavalry, 1 unit, 1 model mounted. So it's not the lieutenant, it is the Kempetai that's mounted. But then 2 models mounted here, so everyone. No, that doesn't make sense. You've only got 3 men mounted. Who's the last one? Something is off here. Anywho, double Manchukuo Cavalry, 10-man units.
Maybe he has his because the first Manchuga has one HQ
Mm,
model mounted, and the other one has two. So maybe it's his second
maybe it's
lieutenant,
the
or
second lieutenant. Yeah, I
three of
think it,
them.
it needs to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Engineers, I like engineers in Japanese lists because they bring something that the Japanese don't really have, that flamethrower ability. Militia squad, full strength. IGN scout team, which is a 3-man submachine gun team that can forward deploy. Medium mortar, inexperienced. Sniper team, regular, no, veteran. Anti-tank rifle team, veteran. Suicide anti-tanker, veteran, and one that's regular. Interesting mix here. Medium howitzer with a spotter, Fugoku Go with the machine guns, and a Kaishin Hoto Chiha tank, which has a medium anti-tank gun and a light truck.
Okay, well, I can understand 3 men and your second lieutenant if they're on a horse, because then you can't go down.
Yep,
So that gives extra protection.
it does.
Which is, my guess is what he's doing, because the Kempetai is inexperienced.
Yeah.
I don't get cavalry. I've faced Japanese cavalry, and I just don't think they're any good. But maybe Thomas can play them. I don't know, but yeah, I
I think
don't
the problem
see.
for them is that you can't buy them veteran. If you could buy them veteran, they would be amazing because they
That
would
would be
be
different.
veteran tough
Yeah,
fighters,
yeah,
fanatics with cavalry. But I mean, as regular, they're just going to die. But he
yeah,
does have them quite large units, like 10-man units. That's a
yeah.
lot.
But if you shoot at him, I know they can Reiki or whatever, like make escape move. But if you can still shoot at them after that, they still die on 50-50. So every other hit you have should kill one.
True.
So and since they can't go down, they can't hide. It's very quickly gonna get tough
It is. Yeah.
in my book.
Yeah.
So
But for me, he's trying to make a mixed bag here. Like he has lots of
yes,
different elements, right?
yes,
Some artillery, some tank capabilities, some close combat, some cavalry. He's making mixed bag here,
yeah.
which
I
is
I, I mean
interesting.
I don't understand the points spent on the suicide being veteran and regular, because if they run into
It's
anything,
weird.
they
Yeah.
they if they're gone dies anyway. So I think it's a waste of points. It should be hidden to control an area of the board for tanks to stay away. They should never be shot at by anything, basically,
Mm,
because it's still only one man. So even if you shoot at it with 6 shots, 3 shots, you should kill one
mm,
guy.
yeah.
So I don't understand the points there. I think it's a waste.
Mm,
Again, I don't understand the whole spotter for howitzer. First of all, it won't take very long before people are within 30 inches of you, and your spotter is useless.
I think it works, but it works if you want to have different capabilities for different games. So in some games you might want to shoot indirectly. In some games you might want to
Yeah,
shoot
but
directly.
30,
So
30 inches is just not a
yeah,
lot.
no, it's a
It's just,
long range.
you
Yeah,
very, very quickly are too close. I
yeah,
mean,
that
if you
is.
put your howitzer 5 or 6 inches in, and the other put there's 12 in, you're
Mm,
too close.
yeah, that's true.
So,
Yeah. Then we
and
have Torben. Here we go. So Torben has 17 order dice, 1204, and I think that it's a horse toe that's really a mule or something. Um, so he's bringing a junior lieutenant inexperienced, mounted recon with flamethrower, assault engineers with body armor and flamethrower, and a Faust. Scout squad, that is a 7-man unit with 2 submachine guns. Interesting setup here. Free rifle squad, medium mortar inexperienced, flamethrower team, double ampumulets. That I do not get. Dog mine team, inexperienced. Sis 3, I like that. Like the Sis. Horse-drawn limber, yeah, that's a mule team. The BA-10, an SU-152, so that's a forward-facing heavy howitzer. A 10 plus tank with a forward-facing heavy howitzer. That is a Death Star.
oh, it is.
A universal carrier, comms omelette, and a truck. A Death Star in a 17 orderized list. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is, but it just means that most of his other units are crap.
Yeah, it does a bit. But he's got a surprising amount of firepower here. I mean, the ampumulets I don't think are very good, but the rest of it, much of
Oh,
it can do stuff.
I mean the mounted recon squad.
Mm?
You get the flamethrower, which is
Yeah,
I'm guessing is why he's taking it because he's not
yeah, of
going to leave
course.
behind 2 men out of a 5-man unit.
Mm,
Um, I wish he would have changed a little bit of again and found the
mm,
points to give all of his scouts SMGs.
mm,
Um, like the medium mortar, like the flamer, don't understand the Ampumulet either anti-tank team.
mm,
They could have been used better, I think.
yeah.
If nothing else, with 3 dog teams.
Mm.
Um, I don't understand the artillery, the Sysgun. I know a lot of Russian players play it. I just don't understand it. I would much rather have the HE
It's
and
so
give the
useful.
pins.
It's so useful with
No,
2-inch howitzer or a 5+
yeah,
anti-tank gun. No.
don't care. I would rather have the extra pins.
Okay.
I think pin wins the game more than.
That is of course true.
Well, I mean, I just very seldom see the armor penetration be 4 or 5 doesn't matter. 3 is okay because as long as you give the tank 2 or 3 pins, it's shut down anyways.
Mm.
So I would much
How are
rather
you
have
going to
the pin.
pin this SU-152?
Oh, I'll charge it with an 18-man anti-tank
Yeah,
squad.
you will charge it with your 18-man anti-tank grenades and kill it.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, but
So
for the rest of us, I have no idea.
no, it's. I mean, the suicide bombers would love running into it too.
Yes, that is true,
So
though. That is true, and it hasn't really got any machine guns to defend itself with, so it'll have to fire off its heavy howitzer to stop the suiciders, which is fun.
yeah, what is it? It's called slow load. What does that do?
The slow load means that you can't shoot it
Yeah,
as the
okay.
first thing you do
So
in a turn.
which means that he won't be able to if I'm within 12 of him to put in an ambush,
Mm,
and he might have to shoot at heavy cover and everything.
mm.
Yeah, I would take that chance and charge it.
Okay, right. I think so. I think that charge would you would win that charge. Then we have Torben D, and he is also bringing a Soviet platoon, 18 order dice, 1192. So a few dice left over. A few points left over. I'm not sure why that is. He's bringing junior lieutenant, inexperienced assault engineers with submachine guns, body armor, Panzerfausts, and single rifle. SMG squad, 7-man. Naval squad, 7-man, tough fighters. 7-man navals, tough fighters. Another assault engineers, this one without the body armor, but with the flamethrower and the submachine guns and double Faust. The free rifle squad, medium mortar team, inexperienced. Sniper team, dog mine, and he's bringing 2 dog mines and 1 anti-tank rifle. The AA gun, which is a light autocannon with a gun shield. A BA-20 with a flamethrower. Stewart, Darker Stewart with Recce. A truck, both of them with pintle-mounted MMGs, and a gas jeep. By the way, everyone, this army I've recently featured on this channel because this is an army from the Danish Bolt Action Association. We have a library where people can actually borrow armies, and this one is the army that was borrowed from the library, painted by Simon Brecken. So, what do we think?
I don't like the 7-man engineer squads or 6-man engineer squads that can't be in
Okay.
bring carriers. I don't like bringing body armor in trucks because if the truck get hits, you
Mm,
have 150 points. That's never going to get anywhere with 6 inches every round.
mm,
So if you want to do trucks, drop the body armor in my book because you
yep.
want to be able to move a unit of that kind of firepower forward, and 6 inches just ain't gonna cut it. You're never gonna get anywhere. You're never gonna hit anything. So I don't like the 6-man thing. I would have taken the rifleman out and spent it on brain carriers to make sure that one, they were protected against regular firepower, regular guns, and to make sure my body armor guys would not have been taken out of the truck. Because if somebody shoots the truck, it dies, they run out. Yeah, they're not gonna die because you have to
But
roll
you're going to
sixes
get
to
stuck
kill,
there.
but you're not gonna get anywhere. I mean,
No.
if you can move 6 inches, that's it. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't mind the SMG squad. That's a great squad to move forward for fighting. Um, so I like it better if it had been a veteran, if you want to
Mm.
go to close combat, because know one thing: when you're regular and you're within 12 to shoot, people are going to charge you.
Yeah.
And you're only regular. If they have veterans, you'll probably lose the squad. So I don't like regulars with submachine guns because it's very hard to protect them, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
But on ambush, where you can shoot when you want, you shoot on a 2, you might be able to hurt them enough that you can actually win.
Yeah.
Naval squad, again, regular, tough fighter, but still regular. People ain't too afraid of charging regular. I mean, Japanese squads would love fighting these.
True.
So Gurkhas would love fighting them. Black shirts would love fighting them because they're going to
But
drop like
the
flies.
8-man is a good size of a unit, though.
It is a good size, but still, if you take a veteran squad and you get 8 hits, you have to roll 5s. You kill 2.66 units, and you get to re-roll twice. So you might kill 3. Where if he comes with 8 guys, he's gonna kill 4 of yours.
At least, yes.
Yeah, that's just math. So
Yeah.
I think I don't mind it when they have rifles with tough fighter because you have the distance to shoot. But SMGs, you're gonna miss the distance, I think, on regulars.
Yeah.
Like the dog mines, I'm a big fan of dog mines. Like the anti-tank, like his light autocannon. But I'm a fan of light autocannons. I
Yeah.
don't think the
If you find a
Russians.
good placement for that, that is great.
I don't think the Russians are the ones to take them. Because
No, maybe not.
generally I don't like autocannons that is stationary that can't move, because you take anything, like for example, you did it to me once where you took your Stuart and shot at long range.
Yep.
And you just picked it off, and I couldn't really do anything to you. Every time I
No,
hit
well,
you,
you could shoot back at +1, which
yeah, but you have to
Yeah.
roll 50-50 to get a
Yeah,
pin.
exactly.
You didn't care, and I lost
Yeah.
1 or 2 guys out of 18
Yeah.
shots every time, so it was just worthless because you can't move it. I think you need to get at least +3 to HE, so you can plus HE2, so you can penetrate.
Yeah.
Because then you're sure
that is
to get
better.
pins. Yeah.
Those heavy autocannons are just great.
Yeah. Love the BA-20.
I always run out.
Yeah,
Always
yeah,
run
I don't care. They're still great. They're such a huge threat because they can
They
recce.
are. Yeah, they are.
I'm at the point where I'm not a fan of Stewards anymore. You asked me after the BOV, which was
Yeah.
my most worthless unit, and I said
And it was the
Stewart,
Stewart, yeah.
and you were like, "What?" And I go, "Yeah, it's just not worth it. I would much rather take the T28 that could shoot at another target
And
for
have a
roughly the
howitzers
same
as
points."
well. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
Well, the T28 is a great choice. I agree.
it is.
Right.
It doesn't have
Then
recce, but I don't use recce with my tank.
no, that's the thing, isn't it? You sort of jumped off the Reiki bandwagon here.
With the Steward, yes, because it is one of your strongest weapon for the Russians with
Yeah,
18 shots.
yeah.
And if you're just going to recce it, it's 155 points. That's not going to do
Wasted.
anything. I mean, I only recce it if I'm at the point where, okay, this he rolls on a 2 or 3, and then I die on a 2 or 3. Else I'm just going to take the hit and hope it survives.
Yeah.
Because it's too many points to make run away.
We have the final list now, and this is Aaron from Australia. So he is bringing Soviets as well. 18 order dice, 1203, and again, I think that has something to do with a horse-drawn limber being a mule team instead. So junior lieutenant, inexperienced. Scouts, 5-man unit, submachine guns on those. Storm group, 7-man unit, submachine guns again, armed to
Veteran.
the teeth. Veteran, very, very hard unit. Forward artillery observer. Again, someone is buying the forward artillery observer. I think these extra points you have in your list here encourages people to bring heavier tanks and encourages people to
Oh,
bring
they do. And the
forward
Russians
artillery
are great
observers.
because they get to roll 2 dice
Oh yeah.
on length.
So that's a nice little bonus. Assault engineers here without the body armor, with 3 machine guns, a flamethrower, and double Panzerfaust.
Hmm.
And that is then he has a secondary assault engineer unit with 3 machine guns, flamethrower, and a single Panzerfaust instead of 2 Panzerfausts.
Hmm.
Free rifle squad, heavy mortar, not heavy medium,
Nice.
heavy mortar with a spotter, sniper team, veteran, anti-tank rifle, veteran, dog mine, inexperienced, M30, horse-drawn limber, which is a mule, BA-20, Stuart light tank, 2 trucks, and a jeep. Very similar to the previous list, isn't it?
Yeah, again, I hate the fact that he did engineers perfectly,
Mm.
and then he put them in trucks.
I kind of like the trucks. They give you a little bit extra range, but yeah,
Yeah, they give you
they do
extra
mean that
range,
you
but
you can lose the
less
truck.
protection.
Yeah, true. It's a
I mean,
trade-off. It is a trade-off.
oh, it is a trade-off. I just like to bring carriers that can shoot 8 shots while they move forward,
Oh yeah, they are
and
great.
then when you're ready, you come out with your engineers, and it's just a
Mm.
great combo.
Yeah, Brengineers is a thing, isn't
Um,
it?
yeah, don't like the M30. We'll never like the M30.
Mm.
I mean, I would anytime. I know it's your tank option, but I would anytime take a Katusha if I wanted
Mm.
it. Even if I lost my tank, I would love to put those points in something else.
Mm.
Also, because with the tank choices we've seen,
Yeah.
I don't think the Stewart is going to do very well in this tournament.
No, there's a lot of anti-tank, like medium anti-tank guns that might go and hunt those Stuarts.
But yeah, and there's a lot of tanks that's very very thick skinned. So
Mm.
of
9
course,
plus tanks is a thing, yeah.
Stewards are great against men, but yeah,
Mm. Yeah, but so is the rest. I mean, he's got a lot of flamers
he
and
does.
submachine guns. So he's would he be
But
better off taking something
you-
that could take care of other tanks?
yeah, I think so too.
Mm.
I think so too. And I don't think flamers are going to be great in this tournament because at least most of the lists that the Japanese and the Italians, they all have fanatics, so they don't
Mm.
care.
Yeah, and if they don't have fanatic, they'll be cavalry and have recce. So
Exactly. So
yeah.
the unless it's a vehicle tank that can shoot 12, I don't think you're
Mm.
going to get a lot out of your flamers this time.
Interesting. So that analysis is kind of interesting because that's a meta-analysis like saying that flamers are not going to work because of
I
the
don't think they will
what's
work
happening.
very well, most of
Mm,
them.
yeah.
Of course, if you play it right and you get it moved forward after
Well,
something's done something, then you have a chance. But in
yeah.
general, I don't think flamers are going to be great in this tournament.
Mm.
So they still give pins, obviously, which
Of
is very
obviously,
annoying.
yes. Which is
So
extremely annoying, and they can wipe out units. I mean, they're great punch
it,
weapon.
it is, but if you face a big enough fanatic squad, the
Mm,
question is, do I want to lose my unit if they manage to roll their order die test?
yeah.
Because if it's a veteran squad, yeah, they might get -3, but if they make sure they have their leader within, it's 8 and under,
Mm,
which is 66% to manage. You charge, and your barbecue squad is gone.
yeah. Right. Michael, I have done this with all the others that has been on this channel so far, and I will do the same with you. I will ask you of the lists that we've reviewed today, which one would you rate to be the best?
Oh, jeez. Like I remember them all. Oh, hoo, hoo, hoo.
Well, there was Pim's barbecue with the OT, and then there was Aaron's here at the end with the
Yeah,
stew in the VA20.
I am thinking. I am thinking. Um, honestly,
Hmm.
honestly, and this is weird coming from me, but I would almost say the Japanese HE list. I think
Yes.
if Søren does it right, I think that can be a really good list.
Mm.
But there is no room for messing up, because if you mess up, your heavy horse is not going to do the job for you, and then you're going to get whooped.
You're gonna have to be very, very careful with
Yeah,
what you do with that
yeah.
list. But there's a lot of potential having two heavy howitzers, isn't there?
There is a
Yeah.
huge amount of potential. So honestly think I would say that is the one I expect the most from.
Right. Thank you so much for coming on, and
You're welcome.
good luck this weekend.
Thank
I
you.
will see you soon,
See
and
you in
we
two
will go
days.
and play games. Thank you,
Gonna
everyone, for
be
tuning
fun.
in. That
Later,
was
guys.
it from us. See ya. Cheers.
Bye.